Hey peoples, it's me Buddha B. What's good, what's good, what's good? This is a bunch of good games. It's actually me with the knife, getting the diamond. Like the beginning parts, it's like me getting bloodthirsties and gameplays and, such as that. Yeah, the first couple are just getting bloodthirsties I need to get the copper color. And then at the very end is like a diamond gameplay montage. And then I have a gameplay in there, but the main purpose of this video right now is tomorrow night. It's currently Monday the 18th. Tomorrow night I'm gonna go see Star Wars The Last Jedi. I do not like what Disney has done with the Jedi, with Star Wars period. What it annoys the hell out of me what Disney says and what they do with the characters now. Hold on, somebody's at the door. Well, yes, officer. How may I help you? Oh yeah, I'm just making a porn video. Why, you want to join in? Oh, Disney's paying me how much to say? Really, that much money? And all I have to do is say is I like them, and I love everything they're doing, and that's the best movies ever? In cash. Alright, yeah, I'll take it, thank you. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, Disney, they're excellent. They're doing the best damn Star Wars movies ever. Haha! F that shit! Fuck Force Awakens. Fuck the Last Jedi / Return of the Jedi. Return of these nuts! Yeah, I just really don't like it. Because, I mean, the prequels were fine, they're great. Because everything George Lucas was doing at the time is called canon. Canon means that it's all in the same universe. Like when you watch some stuff with Naruto, some of the stuff, like some of the movies aren't really canon. Like they're just movies that they do just with the characters. Has nothing. Look at this triple kill. Has nothing to really do with the storyline at all. And everything George Lucas did was considered canon. But then when Disney bought out Lucasfilm and Star Wars and everything for so many billions of dollars, they decided that their universe is going to be different than the universe that George Lucas already had. So most of the books, some of them they're keeping as canon, but most of them now, like all the books and everything else, some of the TV shows are considered legacy now. Like it doesn't exist. It's almost like it's a different universe type thing. Because Disney wants to do their own shit. But the reason why I dislike what they're doing is because for 20 years, past the original movies, like 4, 5, and 6, for the past 20 years, I've been reading novels. They'll come out with novels, like storylines of what's going on in the Star Wars universe. George Lucas had complete control over it. When somebody was writing a book about Star Wars, he'd make sure that they do the research that it connects with something else, and to make sure that it's done in that same universe. So there was no mistakes. Stuff that would happen, like Luke going to the dark side, actually happened in Dark Horse Comics. He thought that, because the Emperor was reborn into a clone. Some people call it like the Clone Emperor saga. But what happened was that Luke thought, okay, you know what? I can defeat the Emperor from within. So he joins the dark side, thinking that he can get rid of it. And he gained some powers. Like, you know, the Atwalkers, like the guys that walk around in the snow and shit, he was able to deflect their laser bullets. But laser beams, you know? That's how powerful he got. But his sister, Leia, brought him back from the dark side. And some of the stuff I'll talk about on here. Like, talks about, like, The Force Awakens and shit. I won't give any spoilers for, Last of the Jedi. I already heard a bunch of spoilers, that's all reviews. I already know what's going to go on, but I'm not gonna spoil it for you guys, in case you guys might like it. You guys, your experience with somebody that I'm talking to right now, your only experiences with the movies. And you might think it's great, you might think it's wonderful and awesome. So I can't fault you for that, it's just me. Because 20 years worth of reading, which included 40 years of history, you know, made me sad. Even the stuff that happened in between the movies and everything, all the books I read, doesn't really exist anymore. And if this video right now is supposed to be like 13 minutes, 13 and a half minutes, if I go over, I'm just going to continue recording my voice. So if you want to listen to my rants or whatever you can, or if not, just watch the awesome gameplay. Like, some of the things with Force Awakens is, why call him Ben Solo? Like, Leia and, what's his name? Leia and Han really had nothing to do with Obi-Wan Kenobi, which was also known as Ben Kenobi. They really had nothing to do with him. Han only had to do with him for a few minutes on the Falcon. Luke knew him pretty much his whole life, just knew him as the hermit named Ben. And Leia never even met him. He was dead. He died before she ever met him. She just heard about him. Hey, Ben, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you worked with my dad during the Clone Wars. So did 1,000 other Jedi. But why use the word Ben? That made no sense at all. And I'll get to you about Ben Skywalker in about a minute or two. And another thing is, like the lightsabers now, how it used to be in Legacy was, there's always been like the red and blue lightsabers, but that was from a planet called Ilum, which was like a planet that a Jedi many years ago, probably hundreds, maybe even 1,000 years ago, found this planet with all these crystals. And they were used well for the lightsabers. So they just made like a temple there, and they made it part of their like ceremonies. Made it part of their ceremonies, with building a lightsaber. So that's why most of the time they were either blue or green, because they went to this planet, which all the crystals that were inhabited in this like huge ass cavern was blue crystals and green crystals. But that's not considered legacy. What they say in canon, which I think is very stupid, is what it is that in order for a Sith to get his own lightsaber, he has to steal a Jedi's. He has to steal a lightsaber, and he has to essentially make the stone bleed, which is extremely. I hate it. Once I heard that, I threw down my phone. I beat my penis. It was horrible. I can't believe they did that. I disliked what they did with that. I completely disliked what they did with that. Actually, I should have probably just left the... Actually, I might go back and record it instead of just doing the knifing montage. I just might actually put another gameplay at the end. Now thinking about it, since I'm already halfway done. I still got a lot of shit to talk about. And yeah, about the lightsabers. And the Sith lightsabers used to be oh, excuse me. Oh yeah, here's that triple kill in the beginning. Used to be just what's that word called? Synthetic. They were fake. They were just fake things. And a lot of people don't know, but in a novelization of Return of the Jedi, Luke created a synthetic green lightsaber. Like the crystal he uses, he found all the parts and everything and instructions on how to make a lightsaber in Ben Kenobi's hut. And he made his own synthetic crystal, but it was green. And we kind of talked about Luke going to the dark side to fight, fight the Palpatine from on the inside, and his sister brought him out. And at that time, this takes place like 2 years after the second Death Star blew up. They referred to their years as like ABY, like after the Battle of Yavin. And Yavin 4 is where the second Death Star was blown up. Yavin 4 is like technically a moon of a gas giant named Yavin. So instead of naming their moons like individually, they just named it Yavin 4. I was at work late today. I was there till like 8 o'clock, preparing for this party this Friday, just because they want to make sure everything's done and so forth. And let's see what else. I actually wrote this kind of stuff down. Han and Leia have twins at first, like during the Dark Emperor series, like when Luke goes bad. There's Jason and Jaina, which are twins, and they have a third child named Anakin Solo, which Anakin Solo, of course, is named after Darth Vader, which is Leia's father. It was a way to, make the name good again. So that made sense. Use Anakin. Why Ben? But I bet you people in Episode 7, Force Awakens, if they would have used Anakin Solo, people would have complained, "Oh, it's just a rip-off of Anakin Skywalker." And damn, why is my voice like this? Sorry, guys. Luke has Ben. Luke has a Ben Skywalker with a woman that used to be the Emperor's hand. Used to be like the Emperor's right hand woman. Her name's Mara Jade. They get married. You know, they have a kid named Ben. Jason, kind of like Episode 7, Jason does turn to the dark side. But like Anakin, he turns to the dark side for the wrong reasons. Like, he turned to the dark side because he has a daughter, like a secret daughter, like his parents didn't know about, because he had a child with a queen of a planet, which was like a Jedi, like one of his Jedi trainees. Like if you read like the Young Jedi Knight series, stuff like that, she's in it when they first built the lightsabers and everything else. So that's he has a kid with her, but her planet is female dominated. So it was just best that, you know, when she had a kid that had a daughter, that they just stay there. Only a few people knew about it, but Luke didn't know. His parents didn't know. None of them knew. And his sister, Jaina, was actually the one that had to kill him, because she was considered the sword of the Jedi, and she had to take down the Sith. He said he did it. For good reasons. We don't know why Ben Solo turned to the dark side. Probably something stupid. And Luke's a bitch in this movie. In the books, it's amazing. Luke's like the Jedi Grand Master. He has hundreds of Jedi underneath him, which train their own things. Like Leia is Force sensitive. Like she's a Jedi Master essentially. She goes back to politics later, but in the books she's a Jedi Master. She can run with a lightsaber. Oh, and in the books, it's probably only going to go a little bit over now. And in the books, they don't just stick with the, like, green and blue. They have all sorts of different colors. Any color you could imagine. Some of them even have a red blade, because it just happens whatever the crystal they use. There's some of them that have a silver blade. There's ones called dual face blades, which they can adjust. Like what they do, they like twist the handle, and it changes out the gems, or adds an extra gem, and it like makes the length of the blade longer. I mean, stuff like that, but I don't know what they're going to keep and what they're not, and that disappoints me. And lastly, like one of the last books I read, Ben falls in love with a Sith. She goes to the light side for him, because in one of the latest books, the people that call themselves the Sith, or like essentially Dark Jedi, they're not truly Sith, like from Palpatine and everything. They just call themselves Sith because they go for like the dark side of the Force. And the dark side people have like their own academy, which happened way back in the day too. But Darth Bane started, you know, the rule too: one master, one apprentice. If you want to read that book, it's awesome. It's not considered canon, it's legacy, but it's a great book. There's 3 books, like the Legacy of Darth Bane. But I cried when I read that. I'm like, oh my god, that is so awesome. Because she goes to the light side for him. Oh, and I don't understand what this whole, like in The Force Awakens, they call each other, like they refer to them as the Rebellion. The Rebellion ended years and years ago. Like in the books, you know, there's the Republic, which is, you know, they call it the New Republic actually. The New Republic fights the Empire and pretty much gives them their own part of the galaxy, where they kind of have to stay and such. Like they're there. They don't leave there, and then we don't bother them and that sort of thing. So they're kind of stuck in the thing. And when Jason Solo became a Sith, and like he actually had the yellow eyes and shit like that, was crazy. They actually teamed up, and now are called the Galactic Alliance. It's good. The original books are good. If nothing else, read the Wikipedia page. If you look on YouTube, there's tons of audiobooks. Like Darth Bane is probably one of my favorites. But It's just everything I love, and now it's gone. The stuff I've been reading for 20 years, it doesn't matter. But for the new people that have only seen the movies, they might like it, they might love it. This past weekend I watched episode 7. It took me 3 days. Last time I seen it was in 2015. And it took that long for me to watch it. It took 2 years because I hated it. I watched it in theater. I always go see them in theaters. Because I did with 1, 2, and 3. And then when they released 4, 5, and 6, I saw it in theaters too. Alright guys, well, yeah, I'm going to take out the... me recording now, it's only the snippets, like the snippets of me getting knife kills. I'm going to throw in that extra gameplay. Might be a few minutes longer. So if you want to watch that, you can. See me die all the time and shit like that. But that's why I'm sad with Star Wars. That's why I don't like it. Gonna go see it tomorrow. Hopefully the kids like it. Alright guys, I love y'all. Thanks for listening to me rant. Bye.
Fire in the hole.
He's leaving cover.
Low altitude bomber inbound. Dropping incendiary.
Head down. There's one in the open. Reloading.
Kill confirmed. Recon aloft. We have eyes in the sky. Enemy bomb incoming. Get to cover. Recon searching for targets.
Need ammo.
Kill denied. Kill denied. Recon searching for targets. Kill confirmed.
I need a medic. Shit, I'm out.
In the restaurant. Kill confirmed. Diesel explosives ready. Recon airborne. Fire in the hole. Counterintelligence airborne. Engaging enemy aircraft. Great work. They are in full retreat.